Welcome to Fulda Gap. I'm Ferg, the producer.
And I'm Bill Greenman Ford. I'm the ultimate rep.
This is one of the world's largest paintball games. This is the safety briefing. This is a reenactment, so to speak, of the Warsaw Pact invasion of Western Europe in the 1980s. Due to the tremendous number of players that we're going to have at this event, it's very important that you pay attention to the safety video and read the rules.
When you signed this waiver, field waiver, you have acknowledged that you have read the rules, and by reading the rules, you are at a great advantage as far as the game criteria. One thing to remember is this is a game, and it's meant to be entertaining and fun. While we have taken great effort in supporting realism, the whole event is taken as a game and not a reenactment. Any side can win in any possible manner.
The Fulda Gap field consists of 70-plus acres in the foothills of North Carolina. The terrain consists of everything from open fields to ravines and creek beds. Trees are plentiful, and so is the underbrush in places. Be aware of your surroundings. Check what you are about to crawl through or walk over. With a field this large, it is hard to keep poison ivy off the field. Most of the playing areas are clear of heavy brush, but when traveling between objectives is when you might run into dense underbrush. The Fulda Gap map is available to print off of the website. The field is extensively bounded by orange or yellow tape. Please, for your own safety, do not cross these boundary lines. Some important things to remember. Do not lose your ID tag. Make sure it is tied to your person securely in your game pouch. Play the field as is. No modifications or vandalizing the field, props, or personal equipment. Wiping paint, any form of cheating, or unsportsmanlike conduct, overshooting, fighting, foul language, etc., will not be tolerated. If you are found cheating, you will be expelled from the game and not allowed to return.
You will notice that we have two types of referees at this game. The traditional referee in orange or yellow, and the purple shirts who are zonal heads. One thing to remember is, do not argue with the referees. The referees are here for your safety and for the enjoyment of the game. Do not argue with the referees.
No physical contact is allowed between players, with the exception of a barrel tag or handshake. Fighting or any aggressive physical contact will result in law enforcement being called. You want to fight during a game? Choose hockey.
The field standard FPS for the Airsoft event is 400 FPS with a 25 gram BB for day play and 350 FPS with a 25 gram BB for night play. Airsoft snipers are platforms that may shoot above 400 FPS during the day play and have a minimum engagement distance of 100 feet. Snipers may acquire a sniper card from their prospective general. There are no snipers allowed during night play. All airsoft goggles must meet ANSI high impact requirements and be full seal. You must not be able to push a pencil through the seal made between the goggle gasket and your face. Anyone under the age of 18 years old must have full face protection. When off the field and in line for the chronograph, safety briefing, the pre-reg, or vending area, parking lot, campsites, and the pro shop area, you must have all magazines out of your airsoft weapons. When you are exiting the field of play, make sure you pull all magazines out and make sure you have no BBs in the chamber of your airsoft weapons.
No climbing of trees, vehicles, or any structure 4 feet or higher. Castles, forts, or towers must be clearly marked in the field of play and meet our safety guidelines. No jumping from towers or any structure, as well as across trenches. Injuries need to be reported to a referee as soon as possible. We have professional emergency medical techs that will respond if necessary. Use only cold smoke that has been approved by the game staff. You are responsible for the smoke you throw. If it starts a grass fire, call yourself neutral and put it out immediately. Discharging of markers in the parking or store area will not be tolerated and will result in your expulsion from the field. Do not shoot any field animals, wildlife, referees, or support vehicles. We are not responsible for what happens to you if you shoot an animal. You cannot fire your marker at your campsite in the woods next to your campsite, or in your vehicle. Doing so is not only a safety hazard, but a blatant show of disrespect for others' safety. If you are found firing your marker in the camping area or anywhere but an approved area, you may be asked to leave the event. Avoid close shots if at all possible. If you are within 20 feet, allow the player to surrender first or shoot a low impact area like legs or feet. Be courteous. Blind shooting. Shooting without visually seeing where your balls are impacting or without looking down your sights is not allowed. An example of this is holding your marker around a corner and firing. Violators will be counted as eliminated. Overshooting, which is the repeated shooting of an already eliminated player, is grounds for elimination or, if deliberate, removal from the field. Allow all suspected hit players to call themselves out. Be sure to loudly call yourself as hit if you are to prevent overshooting.
Shooting a player with a visible dead rag is considered overshooting.
Players must use their authorized entry point to access the game. This is the Warsaw entry, located at the northeast corner of the field past the vendor area. And this is the NATO entry, located at the southeast corner past the NATO camping area. If you leave the field for any reason, air, paint, water, you are considered out. You must come back into the game via your authorized entry point. There is no shooting or posting within 100 feet of an entry point. If a ref catches you, you will be considered eliminated and you will get your card punched for a point loss.
If you are hit by a BB anywhere on your person, your equipment, or your weapons, call out as loudly as you can and put on your dead rag. Then quickly head to your side's nearest dead zone or entry point in order to respawn and re-enter the game.
If under fire, face away from where your enemies are firing from and exit play by the fastest, safest route. Putting both hands and marker in the air is a good idea as well, because it leaves no doubt as to your condition. Get out of the way fast if you are in an area that is under heavy fire. Dead zone camping. There is no shooting or posting within 100 feet of a dead zone or entry point. They will be marked with white tape around trees surrounding the dead zone. Dead zones are there for the convenience and safety of the players and hold no strategic value. If a ref catches you within 100 feet of an enemy dead zone, you will be considered eliminated and will have your card punched for a point deduction. Surrender. The surrender rule is also known as the 20-foot rule. If you get within 20 foot of someone and they do not see you, you can call out, "Surrender." At this point, the other player has one of two options. They can raise their marker and surrender, or they can turn and fire on you. If they turn to fire, you had better be ready to fire yourself. This could create quick draw situations, but calling for a surrender is considered a courtesy, so as not to light someone up when they are within 20 feet to avoid a painful hit. We would recommend surrendering, but it's your choice. The person calling for the surrender has outmaneuvered you and has done the honorable thing by asking for surrender. Be equally honorable and accept the option. Remember, if you call for surrender, not everyone will, so be ready. Barrel tag. A barrel tag is when somebody sneaks up on you, taps you with their hand, not barrel. At this point, you are eliminated. This is not an option. You cannot turn and fire, period. If barrel tagged, you must put your BBD on, raise your marker, and leave the field quietly. A barrel tag or surrender is the only time you are not required to call out in a loud voice, "Hit." By the same token, if you barrel tag someone, just touch them with your hand and say barrel tag. Do not jab or hit them with your barrel or anything else for that matter. Bunker Tag. Command Decisions Wargame Center has a variety of structures and fighting positions on the field. Some of these structures are strategically placed, hardened, and make great defensive positions. However, to minimize close shots, a bunker tag rule is in effect. Certain bunkers will be marked by an orange diamond. To eliminate all players inside a diamond bunker, you must shoot them through the firing ports from a distance, or slap the diamond with your hand while yelling bunker tag. This action simulates throwing a grenade into the bunker. If you are inside a diamond bunker and hear bunker tag, then you are eliminated. If you are outside the bunker, you are not eliminated. Players in diamond bunkers may also be eliminated with authorized satchel charges thrown on or against the bunker, or with a direct hit from a Nerf rocket fired from an authorized card-carrying AT gun, tank, or grenade launcher. Grenade launchers are commercial Nerf-firing launchers, the same as AT guns, although they cannot eliminate tanks. See the tank utilization rules for more information. If a bunker or emplacement does not have a diamond emblem, then the bunker tag rule does not apply, and the players using them for cover must be eliminated in a conventional manner. Night game. The night game can get very intense. Sometimes firefights happen at very close quarters. Give your opponent the opportunity to surrender before you shoot, if at all possible. There are many times this will not be possible or feasible, but please try the best you can. Anyway, call out for a medic. There will be game medics at Fulda Gap.
All airsoft weapons must be chronographed at 350 feet per second or less for the night game.
Radios. There will be a lot of radios at Fulda Gap. The staff will have FRS 1 through 5 reserved for instruction, direction, and emergency use. You can listen to these channels, even though it will serve no purpose for you to do so. Do not talk on them unless you have an emergency, or otherwise tamper with these channels for any reason, or you will be expelled from the event. It is highly advised that you permanently label your radios with your personal information. Tank, bridge, and bunker rules. Bunkers, bridges, foot or vehicle, and special targets can be temporarily taken out of play with special mission cards and satchel charges. Blown bridges will be marked by tape and signs indicating their status. No one can cross a blown bridge by foot or vehicles. However, bridges can be repaired with additional special mission cards or by continuously holding either side of the bridge for half an hour with someone with an AT card present. Anti-tank, anti-bunker. Pneumatic-powered rocket launchers, RPGs, can eliminate tanks, diamond bunkers, and other designated structures on the field and anyone inside of them. The target must be directly hit, no bounces, with a factory-manufactured soft Nerf football-type rocket. On missions, a judge must be contacted and shown an AT card beforehand, and must be present whether the mission was successful or not. In mission play, if an attack is successful, the structure will be taped off as destroyed. In non-mission play, the structure can be immediately reoccupied, except for tanks. There is a limit to the number of RPG gunners, and they must attend the same safety brief that the tankers do and have their device checked by the staff members. No homemade RPGs made with plastic pressure chambers are allowed. All launchers must be approved for play by staff before the general can issue an AT card. An alternate to the RPG is a grenade launcher, which is usually smaller and mounted on a regular marker. These devices fire Nerf or small foam rounds that can only eliminate diamond bunkers. Grenade launchers cannot eliminate tanks nor disable them in any way. There are no blast radius rules, as Nerfs should never be fired at individual players, only structures. There is a limit to the number of grenade launchers on the field, and you must possess a Grenader card to use one. All launchers must be approved for play by the staff before the general can issue a Grenader card.
There are 2 minefields issued per side. These are large traffic cones that have rope attached. To put up a minefield, you must stretch the rope out and wrap it around 3 points of contact to include the parking cone. Anyone that breaks the area of the minefield is eliminated. To take down a minefield can only happen by a card-carrying demo player. You must roll up the rope to deactivate the mine.
A satchel charge, as issued by a general as they are a numbered and controlled item, can be placed or thrown on top of or next to the targeted structure, including tanks, and eliminate them if they make contact with the structure. You do not have to be an anti-tank gunner to use a satchel charge. You may not reuse a satchel charge once thrown, and they need to be returned to your general after use for recharging. Pull out the card in each satchel charge and present it to a ref or tank crew in the event of a successful attack with it. Tanks. The use of paintball tanks, provided that they are under a strict set of guidelines, add an enormous amount of fun and strategy to a paintball game. Armored vehicles on a real battlefield either dominate or are metal coffins for the crew. These rules will attempt to balance safety with effective tank strategy on the field. The tank rules are discussed in detail on their own page. Do not approach or be within 15 feet of an in-play tank, or you will be counted as eliminated. Players may not bunker tag tanks or eliminate the driver with paintball hits. Do not shoot the vision blocks of the tank or shoot at the tank driver. A designated safety referee will accompany the tank. If a tank is eliminated by a mine, satchel charge, or AT weapon, it will either withdraw off the playing field or stay in position depending on the game and the safety situation. In either case, the crew is eliminated, and at least one must proceed to a dead zone as any other player. Reactivations of eliminated tanks involve an uninterrupted 15-minute repair by a single tank crew member after returning from the dead zone, or 15 minutes off-field in the tank park. A tank that is reactivating on the field must do so behind their own lines, and the reactivation must be announced by the safety walker 1 minute prior and every 15 seconds thereafter until activation. Tanks cannot activate behind enemy lines unless they are entering the field through their designated tank entry point. Do not climb on, use for cover, or enter a tank under any circumstances, even eliminated ones. Generally speaking, unless you possess anti-armor markers, your best tactic is to avoid tanks. Tankers and anti-tankers, you will have a meeting at 0900 Saturday morning. Please have your AT and AT card in hand at the end of the vending area by the tank park. Finally, by the nature of this game, there will be referee-supported events, usually dictated by the opposing generals, which could cause entire bases to be eliminated, and all players in them. These are called WMD attacks, and may come in 3 very different forms. Nuclear weapons, or more appropriately, tactical nuclear devices, are a very powerful, but thankfully very limited tool in the belt of the NATO and Warsaw Pact generals. They will eliminate a 100-foot diameter area of the field for the entire event phase once initiated. If used on a base, that base will be out of play for that day or night phase, and thus cannot be used for points. Nukes will be delivered via referee in a very loud and visually spectacular manner. That area will be considered irradiated, and any player from either side who enters the area will be counted as eliminated. The irradiated area will be marked with boundary or danger tape until safe to enter. They cannot be used to eliminate dead zones or entry points. Airstrikes. Like a nuke, but not as powerful, airstrikes will be simulated loudly by refs at points determined by the generals and coordinated through the game coordinator using a grid system. The impact point will be where the ref feels that they are close to the grid coordinate or specific building or bunker target dictated by the FDC as called in by the general. An airstrike or mortar barrage affects the approximate 50-foot radius from the point of impact as determined by the ref in place. A hit eliminates the target, the players inside, and all exposed players within 50 feet. The target can be immediately reoccupied by players, not eliminated by the blast after the refs clear the structure. A strike or barrage does not take out entry points, dead zones, or flag stations. Chemical weapons. Chemical weapons or poor man's nuke will be simulated by orange smoke that will be issued by each side's general. Anyone caught by a referee in an orange smoke cloud without donning their simulated protective equipment, a dust mask over your paintball mask, immediately will be counted as eliminated. Once the cloud has dissipated, you may take off your chemical mask. Remember, smoke travels with wind direction, and it could happen that you may gas your own troops by mistake. Use these weapons under direction of your general or officers. Regular smoke will not be considered as a chemical weapon.
If you have any questions about the rules, be sure to check the marquees both in the camping area and in the vending area that have all the rules posted. If you have additional questions, be sure to get a purple shirt or the head ref and ask that individual question. Thanks for watching this safety video. Once again, if you have any questions, please get with a staff member. Have a great game, have fun, play with honesty and integrity, and I'll see you later.